He mentioned boxing. You want to do like you versus us three, like in the living room.
Hold on. He did mixed martial arts.
Muay Thai. I did. Yeah.
He fought people. So unless we each have a weapon,
I didn't say we're gonna win.
No.
I just said it's gonna be fun.
Unless we're each holding a weapon, I'm not doing this.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but listen, I just
Yeah,
had
how
a
many
baby and I have a
baseball
bad
bats do
back,
you
so
have?
it's
All right, no
Zero.
problem.
How many baseball bats do you have? Otherwise, I'm not getting involved.
It's a fair fight.
I'll use the microphone stand. It's pretty heavy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Just Us Dads. Thank you so much for tuning in to yet another Dadversation. We got a special episode today. It's in the context of our weight loss competition. We promised you we'd get you guys some experts to share some knowledge, to share some sage advice. So if this is your first episode, you fell on a good one, head on over to YouTube, subscribe, and follow us. Go check out all the audio platforms as well. Chris and George are here. And our special guest today is Vaggelis Troulis. How are you, buddy?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me, guys.
What a pleasure.
He's
it is to-
also recently become a father.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So congratulations, 7 weeks.
Thank you. 7 weeks, yeah.
Baby girl.
Baby girl, 7 weeks. She's healthy. She's good. I'm sleeping a little bit. So we're good.
You don't have to lie here. Everyone knows you're not getting any sleep.
How's mommy doing?
Mommy's doing great. Mommy's doing great. First couple of weeks were rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's a big change emotionally for all of us, but especially for the women. Like what she goes through is it's beautiful, but it's the biggest thing that's ever happened.
For sure.
Trauma-wise.
So yeah, that's it. It's a big trauma, and it's learning every day, adapting and figuring things out because you think you understand, but you don't understand until it happens. You know?
One of the greatest feelings, and I know this is probably fresh in your memory, is this stayed with me. Is we left with twice. We left with my wife alone, and you came back with something.
I know,
right?
It's
Come back. You're driving back with something that is so precious.
Yeah.
You're thinking like a thousand
and
things
fragile,
a second,
too.
fragile, right? Vulnerable, right? I remember that.
No,
I remember being in the hospital with when Emma was born. So it was a C-section. It was a cesarean. So we were there for 3 days. And it was, all the magical stuff and everything was fine. And, she had to stay there for, 3 days to make sure that everything was fine. And then, the last night there, I was telling my wife, I'm like, it feels like we're babysitting and I'm just expecting someone to come pick up the child. Like, okay, it's enough. It's been 3 days now. Come and get your kid, please, so we can go home.
Once it comes in, it don't never go
It's
back.
actually really funny, man. I was making the same kind of jokes because, like you said, we leave, we're alone, and when you're single and you're living in the city, and we had a nice life.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
How different is it the moment it comes out? The moment it comes out,
everything
just changes
changes.
like that. You can't put it back in.
You spend 9 months like kind of thinking about it, and you're making the house ready, and you're making the room ready, and
you're imagining things.
you're imagining things, and you're picturing your life with this being that's going to be here, and. My fiance is very, very organized, so everything was like meticulously planned, and I had like 3 separate diaper drawers. Like anywhere you touch, you can change the baby.
Oh, wow. Lucky you.
She's very, very organized.
Yeah.
So I was like living in a baby environment
Already.
Yeah. Because she wanted the house to be ready by 6 months.
Oh, shit.
Really organized.
No, you have no idea.
She wanted to get adjusted to the house.
The thing is, man, look, I don't want to pop that bubble, and I think it's good to be organized, but you're gonna realize, like maybe in a couple months, maybe a year from now, that
It's not up to you.
yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that. It's like it really doesn't matter how many drawers you have.
Do you know
for
how
the
much I'm waiting for the baby to just fuck everything up? Like I cannot wait for that moment where the wife's gonna be putting everything all perfect, and then the little one's gonna be like, "Fuck you!" We're just gonna throw everything.
This is the right moment for my favorite quote of all time from Mike Tyson. Everyone has a
That's
plan
it.
till they get punched
Till
in the
you get
face.
punched in the face, and that's very, very true.
But look, the wonderful thing about it is that you also learn to evolve and to adapt. So as the kid grows older, and maybe later when other kids come into the picture as well, here's what people don't understand, that parents don't know how to be parents until they become parents, and that's where they learn how to be.
it.
So it's a process.
Some people raise kids and they're still confused about how to do it. Like they're done raising their kids, and they're like,
And of course,
I
you have
can't
the
give you any advice.
Yeah, and of course, you have the
just
parents
happens.
that just suck at raising kids, and then so you have you have the entire spectrum.
Yeah, if you're open to learning, which I think you have to, but it's like as soon as you figure something out, I'm assuming it's gonna change. Like the next day, and already this is 7 weeks, but like there's a night when it went well, and we're like, fuck, we figured it out.
That was it. Yeah.
The next day, boom, didn't figure anything out.
Just when you thought.
It's true. It's true. And you know what? I don't want to make it philosophical, but it's also only to what you've done. So let's say you've raised your kids and you've done that. You've done it and it worked at that specific time under those specific circumstances because of that environment.
And
Meaning you may not even
specific
able. Bravo. You might not even able to reproduce it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why it's a constant learning. So I just wanted to echo that.
It is, it is.
Yeah. And that's why
we had a rude awakening too, because my first one was perfect, easy. The second one was different, man.
Complete
So we
opposite.
did the
Same set
exact
of parents.
things.
Yeah.
Same everything, just
Yeah.
not the same person, not
Yeah.
the
Do
same
you guys
time.
notice with the second one, because all my clients that have more than one, every single one tells me stories, and I have these conversations all the time because while we're training, like there's always conversations happening. So it's interesting to hear everybody's stories, and every single one that has had a second kid is like, the second one's a psychopath. I don't understand what happened.
Well, we can't return them.
not for
You know
us,
what,
not for you either.
Well, she's a little.
Maria?
My second one's a little crazier.
Yeah.
A little crazier.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
It
little,
was
there's a little more
hilarious.
crazy in it, but there's all actually no. You know what? The spectrum is longer,
In
right?
what sense?
In the sense that it's a little bit more crazy, but there's more of a soft side.
Okay.
So there's a bigger.
Just everything is more.
yeah.
bigger
there's
range.
bigger
Yeah.
range of emotion and stuff.
Yeah,
But your scale, the one I've witnessed is the first kid. You got to raise it. You're learning. You're gonna make all the mistakes. Second kid, you're raising it. You're getting a little bit of help from the first, but the first is jealous of the second, so it's a little bit tough. But this is what I've heard. By the third, you have both kids raising it, right? And the parents kind of have nailed it down.
They're not even in the picture.
The fourth one, so for some reason, the fourth kid raises itself.
Raise itself.
It's at some corner just doing something and no one cares about it.
Around bedtime, the parents tell themselves, I haven't seen that kid today.
They've just given up. I can only imagine. I don't understand how people. Honestly, my respect for parents has gone through the roof. Like I always respected the idea of parenthood and the challenge that it is. But fuck, man, seeing people. Are we allowed to swear on the
Yeah,
phone?
you can
Okay.
do. Yeah, you can do it.
But it's extremely impressive how people do it with one, let alone with 2, 3, 4. Like I have clients that have 5 kids. I'm like,
I have a cousin who has 5 kids. I still don't get it.
All the people that
Plus
have 5
a
kids
dog,
that I
2
know
cats.
He has a zoo.
are
Fucking
suicidal.
5 kids plus all those pets equals zoo.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
it's
So,
special.
so you gain
It's
a little respect for parents, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot, man. It's a challenge. And then you kind of like, the biggest thing, like I said, is I had like my life was set up exactly how I wanted. Everything was like a choice. I was, doing what we wanted, when we wanted, all the time. And
Then you got punched in the face.
then there was I got punched in the face. And it was one of those like, fuck, okay. Like I had like, really structured with work because work is really busy. So I'm like really strict with that and organizing the week. That's very, very important. But then everything else, like I had time to play guitar. I had time to go to my boxing gym. I had time to go out and see my friends. I had time to, all these other things that I was like,
It's out the window.
did you
But
I
have
like
time?
my life.
Did
You
you
know,
have-
It's
did
like,
you-
it's
yeah,
fun.
it's good.
I do all the shit that I've always wanted
so was
to
the
do,
pregnancy a surprise kind of thing, or were you guys?
It wasn't a surprise. We had said, so stop contraception, and we said within the next 2 years, if it happens,
It happens.
we're
Yeah,
happy.
it just happened sooner
And it
than
just
you thought.
happened
Yeah.
20 minutes after I said it. But yeah,
Did you used to take naps?
I
Say
actually,
bye-bye. Say bye-bye.
I know. I actually managed.
Actually, you know what? No, it's not. It's not true because now at this age now
This
where
is
they
coming, This is
sleep.
coming from George.
Yeah, no, because at this stage now where they actually do sleep a
No,
lot,
it's
you
okay.
can squeeze in the nap.
I'm
while they
squeezing it. I
sleep.
squeezed
Yeah.
in a 20-minute nap before I came.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
it's doable. And the other trick is just take a nap before you go home. Like from between work and home, somewhere you find.
I'm 20 minutes away, baby. Parked right in front.
I'm not even joking.
No, you're gonna make it happen. You're gonna find ways to do it.
No,
It's
listen.
cool,
in
it's
in
cool.
the gym, we have a nice massage table upstairs in the massage room, and
Pass out on that.
many times.
Yeah.
Where's your gym, man? Tell us
It's
more
in-
about your gym.
So it's in Westmount.
It's called the studio, right?
It's called the Studio MTL. It's not my gym, but I work with the owner, and we're a team of trainers who used to be at Victoria Park. again in Westmount. And then with the pandemic, we just moved to that new space with 4 trainers from Victoria Park, and just focusing on private sessions. And we did, so basically with the pandemic, everything shut down. We pivoted to online. So Val, who owns the studio, started an online platform. And that just exploded during the pandemic. So we basically started the second tier of the business that never existed. So she had the online platform with subscription. So we were filming those, like every week we were filming for the platform. And then we were doing all our private trainings on Zoom and at distance.
Yeah.
So that's it. And then she found the space. It was the old North Face on Sherbrooke. So she found the space fully renovated. So it's 3 floors. And now we're just doing that. It's like we're 4 trainers full time, and then another 2 that just joined the team, more part time. And it's been great, man.
All right,
Honestly,
cool.
It's been really, really
The
cool.
important question, because I'm kind of hearing his thoughts. When can we come train for free?
That's not my thoughts.
That's funny. No.
That's funny. It's exactly what it is.
Like my grandfather used to say, Bethany Otsabas.
No, that's one thing I realized. No, like I would love to train you guys, but in general, like
Just say it. We're too overweight.
no.
You're too much of a challenge
That's
for
not
me.
it. No. That'd be a pleasure.
They like challenges, man.
It's just interesting as like the free thing when you're starting off as a trainer, as any kind of freelance worker.
Yeah.
At the beginning of your career, it's always like, okay, let me do this for free, let me do that for
Yeah.
free, and then after many years, you realize like, is it free? Why is it free? Like why?
It's hard to build value. Look, his thoughts were lying.
Yeah, my thoughts were like...
It's because the value thing, right? You don't want to give something free because it's so valuable,
Well,
right?
that's the thing, and it's like by saying that I'll give you something for free, what is it saying about what I'm doing as a
Yeah.
job?
No,
Like
exactly.
what is the quality of my work is like when you go to a restaurant, you're like, okay, let me try 500. When you go to Miller, so they're gonna give you something for free.
Yeah.
Like no,
Yeah.
it's
And at the same time, if the customer doesn't really pay for it, then he's not accountable and he won't put in the effort.
that's it. They won't.
Yeah.
And this is and this I'll tell you guys from experience. Like I trained many athletes for free when I had my gym, and I was like, because I was fighting and I was always in the martial arts world, so I would see like athletes that wanted to make a career out of this. So I would always tell them like, we would do Muay Thai together, and then I would tell them I have a gym, come train, I'll train you for free. And I spent hours and hours and hours and hours training and putting time in this, and then it's done. Like as soon as I don't think it's as appreciated.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree. I agree with that one.
And I'm only saying this because I've done it a lot, and it's much more appreciated when there's something more on the line. You know?
Yeah, and I think Shiv Kara has vocalized that. What he says is that motivation is action. So you can't motivate anybody, but you can inspire them to take action. So you, as your key role would be as a coach, a trainer, would be to inspire. But you can't motivate, because if the person is not motivated, they won't do anything.
No,
right?
you can't do anything for somebody.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like what I can do and what I do is facilitate the process, guide the process, but I'm not doing anything for you.
Yeah.
Like I'm helping you, and my whole
The effort
reason.
has to be theirs, man.
That's it.
So the answer is no, George. The answer is no,
the
buddy.
answer
That was a
is-
long no. That was a long no.
with a lot of love, it's no. It's for specific reasons. I promise it'll be better.
But no, I love that because, obviously, and I want to talk to you a little bit about this whole pandemic, because we want to get to more concrete stuff about, weight loss and nutrition, all that stuff that I think is going to bring a lot of value to the people that are watching or listening. But specifically this business, because I've been following you on social media, and I saw that you transitioned to the studio, and it must have been difficult during the pandemic to actually just think, okay, we got to innovate now. We're on survival mode. Let's go into the videos and all that platforms.
So I'm really lucky to work with the team that I have, because in terms of the entrepreneurial side, like Val is really on point and extremely go-getter. So in terms of the business side, like she was always working like 3 steps ahead. So it really helps to work with a team like that, because it pushes you to level up all the time. So we started it really simple before the platform. We just started by, we can't see people, so let's start offering what we do on Instagram for free.
Yeah.
And we started doing that just to be like, hey, we're here, we're present, we're keeping a schedule, we're here for you guys, we're going through this together. So I was doing the videos out of my living room. So we had the phone, and my fiance was doing the workouts while I was coaching. And then we saw how much that worked. So then she's like, oh, we should do a platform. Like, we should start a platform. And that's how that started. And then the other thing that was interesting was the personal trainings on Zoom. Like, if you were to ask before the lockdown if anybody would like to train from home while looking, through your cell phone, everybody would say no.
Yeah.
And now we did, like, during the pandemic, we were doing about 90% of the business that we were doing before, just because people needed to adapt. People needed that connection.
And is that something that has stuck around, or people have gone back to the gyms now?
It's stuck around as an option.
Yeah.
So for my clients, now I train them when they travel, because they're like,
there's literally no more excuse now.
No, because now it's like I train my clients in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like, I was here, they're like, I'll call you, this is my schedule, I can call you here. I have a client who's in London, tomorrow I'm going to see him. Like, we just figure out the schedule, but when they travel, we try to keep the regular thing. And then I also have like 2 regular clients that I train because they live in the Val and they can't come in. But everybody else is coming to the space. Obviously, it's like, it's not the same. It's not the same experience. It's not the same quality.
Yeah.
And it's just more fun to be in a physical
Yeah,
space.
I think that's what you're saying. It's an option, because just to maybe rephrase what you said, it's not that it was an innovation. It wasn't like the online thing wasn't an innovation.
You
it was happening
adapted.
10 years ago.
You adapted,
exactly.
yeah.
It's a lot of people actually got exposed to the idea that, hey, if we want to stay in business, we need that option.
Yeah, that it's a
so people just
possibility.
needed to kind of log on or kind of get in with the new times, because a lot of people are doing. I remember doing meetings. A lot of the meetings, if we did a calculation and the traveling was too expensive or the risk reward was a little bit off, we would just do an online Zoom. Right, whether it was 3, 4, 5
you're talking about before the pandemic.
Before the pandemic, it's just now. It's like, hey, man, there's no reason for me to come and see you unless I want to seal a deal.
That's it.
So now it's like, hey, let's just 15 minutes. Let's jump on Zoom or Teams, and then other companies saw that and they're like, hey, look, let's capture this market now.
But there's also something to be said about, like, your peripheral time, right? Like your travel time,
Yes.
your parking, all these things. Like, it eats
gas.
away at your day, your gas, all this stuff. Like, for somebody to come to the gym, you need at least an hour and a half to 2 hours with a 60-minute training.
Yeah.
So some people can afford that time, and some people, but other people realize that I don't need to spend that time. Like, I'm home, I'm working upstairs, the kids are here. Like, it's very convenient in terms of being calculated with your time. It's very convenient and respectful of your other time.
Yeah.
So that's another reason. Like, I got some people training more often, because of they're not losing time.
Yeah.
So, like, we went from 2 sessions a week to 4 sessions a week,
And there's even the next level, right? And a lot of people have tapped into this, where you actually pre-record, right?
Yeah.
You have sessions, you
Yeah.
put it online, people pay the class, or you put it on YouTube. So now you're ubiquitous, you're everywhere.
Yeah.
You could sell a generic form, and you could have a personalized form.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And then it's like you could have 1 million people watch your stuff and you're there, which is now the problem with that. It's fine, it's good, productivity is good, but you're losing that human touch again, right?
That's the thing. And it really, I think the pandemic, I used to teach a lot of group classes, like a lot. And most of my week was group classes. And with the pandemic, we kind of had this opportunity to step back and kind of figure out what it is that we're doing. And I realized that that's not what I want to do anymore. Like, where I find the most fulfillment and value for my time is building that connection with individual people and going on that journey together. Like, that's what I want to focus on, and that's what I've been focusing on, and it's been much more rewarding for me, and it's been a lot more fun. Like, there's, I used to teach classes with 30, 40 people.
Yeah.
How good could it be?
Yeah,
like, at the end of the day,
Can't focus on anybody.
you can't. Like, it's impossible. And now it's like you see people getting results and getting specific results for what they want, based on their own particular bodies and interests and injuries, and working around what they're able to do with their time constraints, with whatever their life looks like, and it's completely customized. And I think that's the value in the private training, and it's a very different experience than just generically following a class, or that's why it costs more money. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah, you're a trainer, but you're a coach first. You're a mentor first.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Look, see, this is a situation. We're going to talk to you a little bit about what we're doing, what we've done, and maybe just share some knowledge with everyone listening. The issue, at least that I have, and I'm not going to speak for the other people because they've always been overweight. I've been a model my entire life. But
You guys are so kind to each other. I love it. I love it.
what was I going to say?
His car's got problems. It was my fault.
Yeah. No. Definitely, the motivation is one of the main issues, right? Where, and you're going to experience it now, where suddenly your life and your schedule are just going to flip upside down, right? It's like the
It
time.
has.
Yeah, it already
I'll tell
has.
you guys about my training. Like my training, personal ability to find time to train has gone to shit now.
Yeah.
I have a plan, but I'll tell you.
So when you transition, and this goes out to all the fathers out there, right? Where suddenly your life obviously transforms because there's this new person now living with you, and that you have to prioritize that, right? Yeah. So you have to reorganize your schedule. You have to fix everything. So at some point following that, when they reach an age where they have to wake up and you have to get them ready to go to school, and like we're talking about a whole other level now, right?
That's the age where you start yelling at them.
Yeah.
You're just yelling. You don't know who you're yelling at. You're just yelling. Your voice.
That's true.
Your
That's a good
voice
point.
bitter.
That's a good
You're just
point.
upset all the time.
Yeah, your voice goes up a couple decibels. So you wake up in the morning. You got to get the kids ready. You got to get them off to school. Then get ready. You go to work. Whatever stress you're dealing with. Then come back home, prepare dinner, get the kids, homework, bath time, bedtime. Who the hell has time? I have to think. Shit, I gotta squeeze in some training. So I think a lot of people out there listening fall into that trap, and they end up looking like we do.
Vaggelis has an answer.
I think I do have an answer.
course.
I do have an answer because every single one of my clients, or most of, I would say a good 90% of my clients is in that situation too.
Yeah.
There's always, the way to see it is that it has to be a meeting as important as any other meeting in your day. And if it's not that, there's always something that's going to come up, and there's always something that's more important, and there's always something that's more urgent to be taken care of than your training. However, the framing of it as an essential part of your day, not only for your physical health, but for your mental well-being, for the future of everything is better if the better state that you are in.
More oxygen to your cells.
100%. Everything is better. The healthier you are, your energy's there, you're more present for your kids, you're more present for your work. So understanding the importance of that and putting it as a fixed schedule in your daily plan is the only way. There's no like, if I
We'll
find
see.
time,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
see. That doesn't work. That's the one thing that for sure doesn't work because, like you said, there's a million things that come up in the day,
Right.
and there's if you leave time, there's another million that you could do. So it's like time is like water, right? You spill it, it's gonna go wherever it goes, right? We don't have the option of not making it a priority because otherwise we're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of dealing with right now, and
Yeah.
that's I think that's A, right?
Well, I think what A really is, I've always thought, the first thing you can control is what you're eating. And that's where it should. When
where
you
you
don't
should-
have time to do that, at least work on that until you get there.
Yeah.
That's a whole
And then
100%.
Yeah, and then when you say, you know what, I think I want to start on that date. Fuck you, start tomorrow. There's no that day because you're just giving yourself more time to come up with more excuses.
There isn't, and it's like with we're talking about forming new habits and stopping old ones, right? And just the procrastination is a habit in itself, right? So saying
Yeah.
I'm going to start on Monday.
It's a coping mechanism. It's a way of
coping
surviving it
mechanism,
too.
and you're diffusing responsibility in the moment.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like the moment is now. We're talking about it. This is what change needs to be made right now.
You're saying
what's
it, you
gonna change?
recognize it, act now.
So how do you develop a pattern to create better habits? Okay, what's one day in your life? Like, what's your schedule? Like, how do you prioritize your day? Meanwhile, I mean, look, it's obviously different because your day consists of actually training other people.
Yeah.
So you can always squeeze in a little bit of personal training, maybe not, but you're in that
Even
context
that's the
daily.
struggle, yeah.
But what's your day like? Like, how
Actually,
do you?
no. Okay, actually, what would be a better question? What is the ideal day?
Yeah. Okay.
Huh?
So
Is that okay?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm going to test out my ideal day as of tomorrow.
Well, the thing is, you're training other people to do level 1 stuff. You obviously like level 22.
It depends. Depends. I have people from like that have been training for.
I'm just saying you don't really squeeze in your personal workout there.
No, and if like there's two things I do. Like I like to lift, and I also like to do Muay Thai, and it's a different space. That takes a whole other chunk of my time, which I haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
But this week I'm gonna try, and then again I'm gonna try. So far, the last 2 weeks since I got back to work, 3 weeks. The only time I've trained is after, or if I got a random cancellation. So I wake up at 4:30, leave the house by 5:15. I'm at the gym, start the coffee, set up the station for the day for all the different clients, and then I work 6 to 3. On an ideal day, there's no breaks. I'll work straight through 6 to 3. Mm-hmm. Eat with
in between
the
or
more regular clients. Yeah. Coffee machine's very close. Water's very close. So it's like it's a bit of a hustle the way. And I decided to do this so I can have more time in the afternoon. So after I used to be there all day. I used to like start at 6, and then my last client would be at 6. So I would have a lot of time, but there would be gaps in the day where I would train, where I would eat, where I would maybe nap sometimes. So the day was more healthy and balanced in that sense. Mm-hmm. Now it's work from 6 to 3, and then I finish. If I have energy and if whatever, I'll try to squeeze in the training. The eating has taken a toll. Mm-hmm. So I've lost weight, which I don't want to lose weight. Mm-hmm. I've lost weight because I haven't been eating as regularly as I normally do.
What a good problem to have, huh?
You're in the wrong room showing that information.
I'm just explaining because
I'm about to pull out a weapon here.
This guy needs to have calories to maintain. We're trying, like, I'm cutting from here, I'm cutting from there, I'm trying. Anyway, whatever, man. It's all right. It's a good problem. Look, go for it.
No, it's just it's interesting.
When you're this big, you need a lot of protein.
Yeah, I get it.
It's like more. It's more that like you work hard to build it up, and then
protein's the hardest thing to absorb.
It's like. You're losing it, and the feeling of that you're losing it is not fun. Anyways, but like you said, it's a whole other issue. So an ideal day now for me, which is what I'm going to start this week, is 1, make sure I bought meal prep, so I have meals for the week. They came in today. I'm going to wake up at 4, leave by 4:30, train for 45.
Get everything done before.
Are you in the Mark Wahlberg cult?
No. I'm just trying it out. I didn't do it yet, but it's like
he has the 3 a.m. club. He's calling it.
That's good. If you could do that,
I'm trying.
That's the most amazing thing.
Because look, I already do it for work, right? So I figured 20 minutes
before,
30 minutes before, after, whatever. What difference does it make?
So 4, you get to the studio by like 4:30.
The goal is to get there by 4:30ish, train, shower, and be ready by 5:30. So 5:30 to 6 I set up, then clients start coming at 6.
And you wake up at 4?
I've been waking up at 4:30. Now tomorrow I'm going to wake up at 4.
And you want to be at the gym by 4:30?
That's the goal.
Fuck. When are you going to take a shit?
That's in my
You have to wake up at maybe 3:40.
No, but it's true. Just to touch upon this morning thing, because I've been thinking of morning rituals and like winning the morning.
My eyes open and straight to the can.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Straight.
100%. Me, it's coffee, then go.
But it's a big part of it, man. But yeah, it's a big part of it because if you read successful people, if you read the ultimate achievers, the ultra,
they wake up super early,
you don't have the guys that wake up at 11.
There's no look. The world functions. I used to be that guy. Like I used to be, because I worked in restaurants for 15 years, and I would always finish late and sleep late, go out. There was periods in my life where I went out a lot, and the whole life cycle was that. And then I would work at gyms, but I would only start working at 11, or start working at 12, and then work till 7. But nothing good happens after 8, 9 p.m. Like, what the fuck are you going to do? Sit on the couch and watch TV? That's what I realized that I was doing. It's like, how productive is this time? If I'm going to work all day and I'm tired and this and that, like, I'd rather sleep at 8 and just 9.
I think that's the hardest thing. Waking up in the morning, obviously, it's very difficult, but disciplining yourself to actually be in bed by 8, 8:30, that is hard too.
It's hard, but I would do it the other way. Like, I would start waking up early. so that you're tired, and by Friday you have to sleep at 8
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you can't, you know.
Yeah.
But it is. I just want to stress the importance of it, because it's just like the financial guys that are very rich that
Yeah.
say pay yourself first. Well, give your morning to you first.
That's the thing.
It's the
That's
same
what I wanted to
analogy,
say.
right?
That's
It's
it.
like that is your time.
Yeah.
And then because when work starts, you give your time to everyone else.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to get to, right? So
Yeah.
it's like the world functions like, let's say, between 8 and 7, you know, and everybody's world around you. The only time that you have, like when I'm driving to work and the city's dead, it's my favorite time in the day.
Yeah.
Like your head's clear, there's nobody out on the street. It's pitch black. Like I get to the gym, it's quiet, have time to make my coffee. Like it's, you know, I listen to podcasts. I do all the things that are like, for me, I try to squeeze them in the morning.
What's your favorite podcast other than Just As Dads?
Just as that.
He laughed at that.
Because the morning is a very, very, very important thing.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that I always knew, but I never kind of experimented with it. And I'm kind of dabbling into it right now. And I see the benefits. And I haven't mastered it yet, but it's something I want to master and that I will.
It takes a long time, and I'm telling you, like last week, I haven't mastered anything. Like it's just a matter of
I had it mastered.
Slowly,
I threw it all away.
Yeah,
When I moved to the suburbs and I gave up my time for driving.
that's another.
No, but I'm telling you, I used to wake up at 5:30, wake up, take my dump, make my coffee, my toast, watch the news, get informed. Then around 7:30, take a shower, go to work for 9. It was great.
Yeah,
All that is beautiful except the news. Get rid of that.
No, this was 13 years ago.
but the idea, like I've been waking up at 4:30, so even 4 is a change. So this week, what I did was every day I was like putting the alarm 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes earlier. Hopefully Friday I woke up at 4 and it didn't kill me. The only thing is, like at the end of the day, if you don't do the morning thing, it sucks at the beginning. Like there's things that suck, but they just
Yeah.
have to be done. But at night, there's no energy to do anything.
It's poor energy.
Like it's poor energy. So your training's not going to be ideal unless you have, you know,
Super
somehow
genes.
you have super genes.
Like him.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
have to train in the morning, man. It's so much better.
The morning training is good. I've done the morning training and it's good.
It's the best.
I've also done the evening training, but I agree with you that you have a long day, man.
If-
the
if
last
you're-
thing
if
on your
you're-
mind
let
is
me tell you
training at
something.
6, 7
If
p.m.
your evening training is as good as your morning training, it means you're not trying hard enough. That's all that's going on.
No, but evening, night, the walk is perfect. When I started walking, obviously it's at night all the time. Morning, there's no way I'm going to get out of the house to go walk. So at night it was great. But I had when I used to train, I would do it always in the
You
morning.
didn't try hard enough.
No, it was great. I was doing it for a while. I was waking up early in the
I
morning.
walked with you at night. You don't try hard enough.
Yeah, okay, whatever, man. You're a fucking beast. First of all, your legs are twice the size of mine. I don't understand.
You don't try hard enough.
He's like, let's go. Like, dude, you're not fucking
he's
walking.
trying to speed up by swinging his arms. I'm like, try moving your fucking legs and save the.
Anyway, but yeah, no, I had done the morning, and you're right. It does feel good. It wakes you up. It gets you moving.
There's it's just efficient. It's efficient. Like in
efficient.
30 minutes, you could get a hell of a
And you know what?
workout
At
for
the end of the
30
day, when
minutes.
you're tired from your job, you don't have the chore left to do. It's done.
It's done. Yeah.
And you used all that quality energy
Yeah.
to better yourself instead of giving it to your employer.
That's it. It's important to think about the self-improvement part because it's all like in the moment before you're starting the workout, like it very rarely feels good all the time
Yeah.
to start training. Like it doesn't. You don't start by like, oh shit, yes, I'm gonna go kill myself at the gym. But it always feels better after.
Yeah.
Unless you do something stupid.
Yeah.
But usually it always feels better.
It does
after.
feel good, yeah.
So
No, but the importance
knowing
is
that-
sorry to interrupt you, but the importance is always, I think, it's that you got to keep doing it even when it doesn't feel good,
That's
because
it.
there's going to be days where it doesn't feel good. It's going to feel shitty.
Most days it feels shitty. That's what I
Yeah.
want to say. Like for me, I'm not a very like, you know, I'm an artist to start. Like my growing up was I did a lot of martial arts when I was a kid, but all throughout high school I was in Greece playing guitar and like it was that was my thing. So this like go-getter thing came a lot later in my life. So it's hard for me, and it only came when I started fighting more seriously, like and training for that more seriously. But there's a lot of, and the biggest lesson was taking a lot of things that are not necessarily pleasant, but are good long term.
Mastering the mundane.
So it's more about the long term benefits versus short term
embrace your
pleasure and
suffering.
gain. Yeah, and that's okay. Like, and these are the stuff I'm reminding myself for the baby now,
Yeah.
because like all of this full control and all that stuff is not here anymore. and I'm like trying to remember, like it's okay. It's not about now. It's not about now. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. It's gonna get better.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think the biggest part of this, just like it is with anything, right? It's the mental, because when we go golfing and it's like tee time at 6:30 and I'm up at 5, dude, you know, I don't need an alarm. I spring out of bed. So it's because you're doing something that you want, and in your brain, it's like it's telling you, yeah, let's go. Yeah, you're gonna enjoy this.
Wow, man.
So the thing is, how do you get training to the level where it becomes an absolute must? The same way that you wake up in the morning and you have to brush your teeth, you got to put your deodorant.
That's what it has to
It's
be.
the results.
The
man.
excitement of the golf is not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because it's a special event and it's exciting.
You like it. It's,
and
yeah.
It's
you enjoy
occasional.
to do
It's
it.
occasional too.
It has
That's
to
true.
be the toothbrush.
Yeah, it has to
be
become
the
part of
not
your
the
day.
toothbrush, the brushing of your teeth.
yeah. I love my toothbrush.
Well, I mean, the only thing that gets it there, in my, like, it has to be this. It's your reason why. You have what's your motivating factor,
Yeah.
and that's your eye. It's you know, I want my kids to see me as thin. I want my kids to I want to see my kids grow old. I want to
Yeah.
see meet grandchildren. So
Yeah, the white power.
Yeah.
and then you have to say to yourself, the result. That's the motivation. It's working. Keep going. It's working. You
Yeah.
ride that
That's it.
fucking pony, man.
Yeah.
And it takes time. And the process of doing it sustainably is difficult and it's long and it takes time and it's not always enjoyable and there's going to be times when the progress is quick and then it's going to slow down.
Yeah, you hit a
But
plateau. You keep going.
you keep going. You just keep going.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah.
magic shit needed. It's just consistency and work that gets it done. Understanding simple principles, lifting enough weights, doing cardio for health, and understanding the principles of nutrition, and it's sticking with it.
Okay, so
Let's
a question for me. So now, for like, let's say a 40-year-old dad bod.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody who doesn't have the habits.
Not this. This is like this perfection. It's
Take off your shirt. Joe.
So like
Take
we're
off your
talking
shirt
about.
right
I'm thinking of a 40-year-old dad that has all the bad habits. He knows what the good habits are, but he's not doing them. Give us like 3-4 tips without going into like depth, obviously, right? But like 3-4 things to get him started on the right track. I know we kind of spoke about them, right? But just like for like a listener, you know, like the 3 or 4 things that he has to implement right away.
yeah, like the ABCs.
Yeah, the
So
quick stuff.
The quick stuff, number one, I would say, is understand your calorie consumption and be honest about it. But understand that means what calories are you drinking, how many calories you're dipping in your ketchup, like the little things that we don't think about. Those are the things that screw you at the end of the day.
Like the
because
salad dressing.
The dressing, how much dressing? It makes a difference how much dressing, what's in the dressing, all these things. And I'm not saying to be obsessive, but be aware of it and be honest about it.
Okay.
Like you tell yourself, okay, I had 3 meals, but you stopped at Tim Hortons and you had 3 coffees and every coffee had like 70 grams of sugar, but you didn't count those calories. It makes a difference.
It adds
at the
up.
end of your week,
Yeah.
it adds up. And it's an accumulation of a little bit. The same way that, an accumulation of small good habits makes a big difference at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well, so does an accumulation of small bad habits. So that's the number one thing. Like, be honest with yourself about the shit that you're consuming.
For a beginner, Vaggelis, would you just keep it at the awareness level, or would you like tell somebody to start tracking it and counting it?
I think to be aware at the beginning, some form of tracking is helpful. I'm not saying it's a must, and I know some people get obsessive about it, so I don't always recommend it.
I live with a scale.
Yeah.
That's it. So you have to be careful and understand yourself too. If you know that you're going to go crazy, that's not healthy either, and that's not sustainable either. The point is, track enough so that you know. And after a few weeks, like, you don't need the app anymore because you understand what you're eating. Another thing I would say is don't drink your calories.
The thing is, I agree with everything you said. Is just that you don't need the app anymore when you've guaranteed have a pattern of exercising regularly.
Yeah.
There's sometimes life doesn't permit you, man. That's the problem.
No, that's it. And if the app helps you, and honestly, the app has helped me many times. Like there's clients that use the app and it really helps them. By all means, go for it.
Yeah.
Just understand, like, why are you doing this again?
Yeah.
Because if the scale becomes, you develop this unhealthy relationship with the scale, for what? Like, who are you having the 6-pack for? Why is this becoming so obsessive? So it's just important to be mindful of things so they don't get out of hand, because it shouldn't be unpleasant to you.
Yeah.
The whole point of this, and what we always have to remember, is that we want to eat better to feel better, and we want to train to feel better for all the reasons that you said, like for the kids to be more present, to be a better version of yourself. That's at the end of this. So if training and being healthy has made you an obsessive version of yourself, that's not particularly better. So it's just to remember, why are we doing this? So that's
Yeah.
I don't think I'm there.
Got it.
no,
Yeah.
just
I don't think I'm there.
Yeah, and it's also like I've heard many experts say that. I'm sure you're going to agree to this. A good diet, well, people don't like using diet anymore, right? A good regimen or a good lifestyle is a sustainable one.
That's the only.
So whatever you could sustain and you know yourself better, you sustain.
That's it.
If you can't do it and you know you're setting yourself up for failure, it's like you don't do that. Don't go down that path, right?
Don't go down something that's too hard.
Yeah.
Or the fad, crazy fucking diets that people sell and push and whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's ultimately unsustainable. If something is too extreme, you're not going to be able to sustain it. If you're, how tall are you?
6'3".
6'3". Okay. If somebody tells him consume 1,500 calories a day,
No good.
He's going to lose weight.
Yeah.
He's also going to feel like shit, and he's going to last for a month. And then that's not sustainable. Like, it's just understanding what makes sense. The rate of weight loss shouldn't be too extreme.
Yeah.
Because if it is, then it's going to go like this.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So what's your tip number 2?
So tip number 2 is find ways to move, I think. I think,
Stairs and stuff like that.
yeah.
Walk somewhere.
wherever you can. Take the stairs whenever you can.
More sex.
Absolutely. As much as possible.
And not lazy
doesn't
positions.
burn as much,
Not
man.
lazy positions.
Not-
It doesn't burn as much,
You
man.
need Kama Sutra.
Just doing your pelvis like this doesn't do much, man.
No, but it's good. It's good.
I'm not saying it's not bad. It's not good. It's just fuck. 20 minutes of that is what, 100 calories?
Not even. No,
Exactly.
but it's I think with tip number 2 is that if you're training to lose weight, you have to lift, but also don't just train to lose weight. Like it's you're
No,
not gonna the
yeah.
calories that you're gonna burn in a workout are not what's gonna make the biggest difference in your day. Fat loss should be focused on with your nutrition, and the training should be to build muscle,
Develop
to
in your
get
body.
stronger, develop in your body, increase your metabolic rate, and ultimately burn more calories. Yes, but also just to feel better. Like that's the training. The stronger you are,
Strengthen the structure.
it's your structure for the rest of your body. And the older we get, especially as men, we lose, like after 50, we lose 1% body mass per year just by
Because
existing.
of the lower levels of testosterone, right?
Yeah. So we end up, like we need to maintain, just lift to maintain.
Yeah.
Not only lift to get bigger,
Yeah.
build muscle. It's just, and the stronger we are, the better we can go into all the stages of life that are coming.
So is there this like when you hear the different people in fitness world, right? Health and wellness. There's the proponents of more resistance training, right? Strength training, a little less cardio. And then that's where you have the hits, right? The high intensity interval training, where it's kind of a cardio with some strength.
Yeah.
And then
Circuit training.
and then there's the other the older way of thinking, which was just cardio. Where are you at with that?
Again, depending on goals, I think people need to lift and do more resistance training. Just cardio.
Where's your what's the percentage? Like, what would you put it? 90% strength, 10% cardio. It's just like a little bit to get the heart pumping.
No, it's a 70. It's like in the week, it's a 70-30.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay. Good.
And the cardio, again, unless we're looking at performance, that's a whole other thing, and we're talking about athletes, but general population.
Yeah, we're still on the
normal
mindset
people,
that the frame is the 40-year-old
40-year-old dad bod,
Yeah.
like even 80. Lift. That's what's
Not
gonna,
to lose the muscle, to keep some muscle.
to build muscle,
Yeah.
keep the muscle,
The muscle's going to replace your fat.
increase your metabolic rate, and then you're going to burn fat. Like your body burns more the more muscle mass you have.
Yeah.
Also, again, you're feeling stronger, you're doing better, and the cardio that you're doing is not necessarily beneficial for your fat loss. It's good for your heart.
Yeah.
But that's not, that's something that needs to be there. That's why I'm saying 30%. Like
it.
do it for your health and your
Yeah.
heart health, not for losing weight. And because we're not thinking about necessarily performance, the benefits you get from a well-rounded resistance training program are great for your joints, for your mobility, for the way that you move in your day. It's resistance training that can help you like fix your desk posture and fix your back problems.
Yeah.
Like the things that can help is proper and intelligent programming of resistance training.
Yeah.
It's not the treadmill that's going to fix your back. You know?
And then again, that even branches out to a couple of things like calisthenics, where weight training. Like, do you recommend people start with just their body without putting weights, or do they go straight to the weights?
I think it depends on the movements, right? Like somebody can't start with their body. There's a lot of people that can't just start with their body.
Yeah.
Like a basic push-up is too difficult for some of my clients, you know? So you can't just say, like if somebody's 300 pounds and you tell them hold a plank, that's hard for somebody that's 300 pounds.
You can't start having them doing plyometrics.
And it's like,
plyometrics, that's
I've
another
had
one.
this. So for people that, it depends on the situation and on the person. Like if you have a background of training, yes, you can start with body weight and it's excellent and it's easy to do. It's easy to implement and you could do it anywhere. But somebody that has mobility restrictions, i.e. being overweight, you need a set of dumbbells. You could do a lot more with those dumbbells till you can get to the point where you can do body weight exercise.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like a lot of the calisthenic stuff are extremely advanced. For most people, it's too much. Like for most people. And another thing is that I don't really like is that it's less measurable. Your technique isn't always consistent. You can't you can't as well measure progress. You can't always control the environment. It's a little less controlled. So when you're doing pull-ups on a pull-up bar, like I'd rather do a variety of different back exercises to get the whole back, different angles, and then we build up to that.
diversity
You could track and adjust and do the measurement.
I prefer the more scientific tracking and measuring, having a more controlled environment in that sense, and also because that's more controlled and the variables are more controlled, your angles are more strict, so you can work, like you're working different angles of pulling, and it just prevents injury a little bit more. I just want to try to make it a little bit more controlled and safer for people, because another thing that's important, like we said before about nutrition, is the sustainability. If you do something stupid and you hurt yourself, then your training goes back. You know?
Like letting an uncertified friend mess with your back. That kind of thing, right?
Massage you.
All right.
When was the last time you did a pull-up?
I could do at least I could do four.
Four
pull-ups.
4 pull-ups.
Right now.
I could do 4 pull-ups.
Right now.
That's good. Man.
That's amazing.
That's pretty good.
That's
I was at 1.5.
That's
But
really
I
good.
could do it. I could do it. Yeah.
I wouldn't even.
I'm
attempt
very
it.
big, but I'm strong.
Yeah.
Like I'm not being narcissistic
No,
or arrogant. I'm really strong. I have a lot of strength, but I see how the weight is killing me.
Yeah.
And one of the problems I know I'm going to face is that as I'm losing weight, I don't have that fat that used to be my weight.
For the body weight stuff.
Well, if I train on pull-ups with 280 pounds, as I'm losing weight, I'm pulling less weight, right?
But you're doing more. You're
100%.
doing
There
more
you go.
repetition.
That's right. I got to do different things.
100%.
But okay, so 1 is awareness, calorie awareness. 2, you said obviously move more. Give us a last one, a third one.
I really think and find a way to at least have a discussion with a professional to help you guide through this process. Like once, twice, have a meeting, just set out a plan and be accountable to this plan. Accountable to yourself, but we're as humans, I feel like we're able to let ourselves go and not be accountable to ourselves anymore. So it's not enough. That's why being accountable to somebody else sometimes really helps. But also just having a plan is the only way this is going to work.
Yeah.
Like-
Can add to that,
Absolutely.
Vaggelis, because I know that. A month ago, I hadn't started with Nick Drossos. And I was training at my house, and I was doing it my own ways. I was watching the videos. So what I did, I thought I was training, which I was, but I wasn't giving 100%. So then I go see Nick, and with Nick now, I can't fake it. I can't stop. I got to finish the sets.
That's it.
So what I saw was a big difference, right? I was way more tired, and we kind of did the similar things.
Yeah.
But because of the accountability, and I had to finish the sets, or I had to really push when I needed to push.
Yeah.
Because when I'm doing it by myself, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm good.
There's that's the thing. Like when
Yeah.
you're doing it on your own, your body tells you to stop about 1 million times before you're even close to what your max is.
Yeah.
Right? So we're not used to, and it's normal. It's self-preservation. You don't want to be in an unpleasant, uncomfortable, difficult position. But that's where it's our job as a trainer to, like, I see you, I know you, you're not even close to where your max is, you know? And it's really, and obviously, like, Nick has many, many, many years of experience. Like, he can see that, and that's why he's pushing you to more than you could for yourself.
your
You know?
Like I almost threw up.
Yeah.
And we stopped when it's like look, when I was
When it was in your throat.
No,
you're
but listen,
like,
this is funny. When I was training by myself, I would stop when I started sweating. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. With Nick, we stopped when I was ready to puke. You know what I mean?
It's a very different thing.
That's a
It's
very different thing.
It's but also you'll see the results exponentially faster when your effort is that high.
When you leave it all on the table, man.
Yeah.
You have to leave it on the table every time.
That's it.
Some days are going to be better than others.
Without
but
hurting yourself, and that's it. Your 100% is not the same every day.
All right, so talk
And that's
about
totally
how
fine.
people, let's say they want to reach out to you, like do they just call you, get a consultation? What do you do?
should
They find you
just
online?
contact just as dads or
They could contact you guys. No, so we have either contact me directly.
Vaggelis, we'll do the consultation. Okay?
That's it. Okay.
leave it to the pros.
Three of you together. That's it. The three of you together.
with our shirts off.
No, that's it. So we have our info at thestudiomtl.com. So that's our website. People can contact there or me directly through Instagram.
Okay.
All my information's on the Instagram page.
We'll put it up on the in the links there. So
Yeah.
Me, I have a problem
Yeah.
that I'd like to talk to you about because I used to train a lot, weights and full body and diversity. Keep changing which angle you're doing, which whatever. Anyway, a lot of what you just said because I was with somebody who was really into this and he taught me a lot. A lot of the stuff you're saying he already taught me, and because of an injury I have, I don't dare do it without a spot. So because I don't have a training partner, I've given up on that weight part of the whole thing. So I just focus mostly on cardio and jogging and shit like that. Just staying active until I can figure out something to do about this weight thing. The weight, like lifting weights and stuff.
But
I don't have a spot and I'm afraid to fuck it up.
What was the injury?
It's in the neck.
Yeah.
Neck.
I understand.
My
'cause
left side too.
yeah.
Even doing just basic bench press. One side is like could do 150 by itself. This one could fucking barely do 60 sometimes.
Yeah, I would just forget about big weights. And
No, but I
that-
mean even small ones.
even smaller weights.
Yeah, on
I
one
would
side.
start. I mean, because the fact that you've gotten injured, and I'm only saying this because
The injury didn't come from the exercising.
no, but any injury, because I mean, I have herniated disc. It's like
Yeah.
constant managing of pain.
Yeah, constant
So I
pain
totally
management.
get that. But what the injury does do is increase your awareness about of positioning, of angles,
Yeah.
making sure that everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And if you're lifting perfectly,
You need a mirror for that.
yeah,
People need to understand that
100%. You need a mirror and you need to understand basic technique. And that's where having trained, like, I wouldn't say this to somebody that's never lifted anything before. Like, you should start with having a little bit of guidance, even a little bit of guidance, because technique does matter.
Yeah.
It matters for the safety, but it also matters for the results.
Yeah, and the
result,
mirror is an important thing, actually.
Yeah.
That's why all gyms have it. And it's not only for people to just go and show off.
No.
When
Like,
you're
I like
doing-
my pec. Did you see my pec? Well,
I did see it, actually.
Good.
I actually felt the wind from,
Good.
from
There you go.
your
There you
sweater
go.
moving.
There you go. So, but that's what a coach does. A coach mirrors, right? He's there and he corrects.
100%.
Yeah. Just I want to ask a question.
Yeah.
Okay, because you gave us three good rules. Where does beer fit in all this? Let's say because a 40-year-old dad
Yeah.
has a very, very sacred relationship with beer.
I would say number one, develop a sacred relationship with tequila.
Oh.
It's a little
A
bit
low
healthier.
calorie.
It's a little bit healthier. Get yourself some like a good bottle of tequila and enjoy that instead of.
Sip it.
No, I'm joking. But
Yeah.
obviously, alcohol is a big part. It's a big part of your calorie consumption too.
Yeah, carbs.
Like it's a big part of
Sugar.
You can have a great day nutrition wise. I drink. I like wine. I like beer. I like wine more, but I'll do it. Like I'll do it, and I understand the days that I'm doing it. That I just had like 3,000 calories extra. You know?
Yeah. Wow. It goes fast. Don't drink your calories. That's what you meant.
I don't drink your calories or understand the days that you do.
You got to make up for
Make it up for it in a different way. Don't go
Yeah.
crazy, but make it up.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's your problem because it's like you don't just have one or two. Just
George
to
lives
unwind.
with you. He knows everything.
Yeah.
No, dude, I know
Sure.
because like when Chris has when he has, it's not a beer, it's a case of beer, or you know what I mean. It's,
But it's just Thursday.
I've been good. I've been good with the alcohol, but I get it. And it's the same thing. I'm after my son because I see him, like he's an athlete. Like he takes care of his body. He's in sports all the time, but I see him sometimes lose track and all his calories. Obviously, he's not fat. He has a good body, but I could see how he could derail with juice.
Of course,
Dude,
juice is like
it's
poison.
like
Poison.
Coca-Cola.
It's
no,
the same
but have
thing.
a fruit.
Same thing. It's 40 grams of sugar
It's
per
have the
serving.
fruit.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why people
Even the
drink
fruit,
orange
man.
juice. Like it's just
or
have
get
an
a
orange.
juicer, man. Get a juicer.
But
Make
you
your
know
own
what it
juice.
is? I don't know how it happened, but we got indoctrinated thinking the juice is healthy.
Yeah.
I know, but it's
You know?
have the fruit because to make a glass of orange juice, which is gonna be I don't know how many calories, like 160 calories for like a glass of orange juice. That's this size, you know.
Yeah.
You need like 7-8 oranges. Are you gonna eat 7-8 oranges? No, you eat one orange, and that's it. Have the actual fruit. Like, take your carbs from fruits and vegetables. There's so much that you can take, and they're tasty. We're in Montreal, so it's a little less tasty, but you know you could find some decent fruits, you know, to have. But to drink the juice, like why waste 160 calories where I could eat it?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like
That's it.
I love to eat. I really eat a lot, and if like.
Nobody in this room has this problem. Nobody in this room has the
No, but
problem.
I
We don't know what you're talking
understand,
about. What does that mean?
So it's like you got to manage it. It's
of
just like
course.
anything else. You manage it because I'm not going to stop eating, but I'll cut where I don't want. Like the
Yeah.
shit that's not important. Like I'm never going to cut the things that I enjoy. You know.
Yeah.
But like a glass of juice that's just gonna
Pointless.
Horrible.
could have had another half steak. You know.
It all comes down
Yeah,
to
sure.
discipline.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Of course. I think exactly like that.
It all comes down to discipline, man. You know, as long as
And
you
right
have-
choices and
Yeah.
good habits.
Yeah.
Discipline, good choices, right habits, and knowing what to do. And it's not
And
knowing
you-
what to do.
and
Most people know
and
what
you
to
have
do.
to embrace the suffering, man.
Yeah. Most people.
It's not supposed to be pleasant all the time.
Yeah.
Nothing is pleasant all the time.
No.
I want to finish on a high note, man. Eh? We have time?
We can all do it.
Yeah, we
That's the
have
high
a
note.
couple minutes. Yeah.
We have more time, and tell us about music, man. I heard you before
Yeah,
say
you
music.
mentioned it a lot of times because we
And
all
my
play music
my
here.
antennas went up.
No, man, I've been playing guitar for 24 years almost. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I've been playing forever. When I was living in Greece, we had a band that did like we were playing in bars and like
We're
in
gonna
high
jam
school.
after. You have some shit.
Yeah, we're gonna jam.
And that's it. Yeah, I try to play as much as I can. but
Yeah,
then
you try to fit
work
it in.
has gotten very busy, which is good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just always it's
Don't you
always
miss
been.
playing with people, man?
I do.
Fuck,
I
man.
do.
Fucking, I'm
You play
starved.
too?
Yeah, I play drums. He plays guitar.
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Wh-
It's
when was the last time you jammed, like, or you did a gig?
I did a gig 2 years ago for a charity thing at Théâtre Fairmont.
Okay.
So we just like it was a whole bunch of musicians, and we were doing. 'Cause a friend of mine runs it's an organization to help kids develop healthy habits.
Oh, good.
And we did a fundraiser there, so we did like 11 songs. It was
You want to
fun.
plug him in? Well, what's the organization? What is it called?
It's called Camp Lift. They're
Oh.
actually in schools now, on the English Montreal School Board.
All right.
And they have a curriculum that it's like once or twice a week, depending on the school, and they teach kids these things
Yeah,
like
amazing.
in high school, which is
Like, isn't it? Look, my kid's in high school right now.
Yeah.
So he went through. Isn't it crazy that a lot of the stuff is not taught in school?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it's
all,
insane.
like
Yeah.
it drives
gym
me
once a
insane.
week.
Gym
No,
once
no,
a
no,
week,
it's
yeah.
Like now he's in a program where he trains every day, and that's one of the reasons like I accepted that because like yes, I like academics, I get it, they're important, but not as important as your health, your wellness. It's an everyday thing,
and your fitness level.
and your fitness. Yeah, absolutely.
And wellness is a very diverse thing. It's like
Yeah.
that's why we have these 4 pillars on the wall at the gym, and it's like your mindset, movement, recovery, and nutrition. Like all these 4 things are
That's it.
extremely.
That's all the
important.
foundation.
And
Everything
that's
sits on that.
wellness.
And
It's
you have
not-
to plug in a rest there too, right?
That's it. The recovery. That
The
was the 4th one.
recovery. Yeah, yeah.
Like it's taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your food, the things that go into your body, and also resting. So like all of this stress that we're putting, whether it's training is a stress on the body, work is stress on the mind, like all these things, it's important to take the time and disconnect. And,
Unplug.
unplug. Breathing really helps. Music really helps. Like breathing, for me, is a big,
You need
big
outlets.
thing.
Yeah.
But you need healthy outlets that are not drugs and alcohol, you know?
What's your take on meditation, stuff like that, like the intangible stuff, the meditation, affirmations, visualizations, stuff
I think
like that?
affirmations are very helpful. I think visualization really helps. I started doing it when I was fighting. It really, really helped me then. I'm really not into the I'm not very spiritual. Like, oh shit, I can't. Like when it's a little bit too much candles and Satan. But the breathing is extremely powerful.
Yeah.
So breathing is extremely powerful in terms of regulating your nervous system. So that's a little more scientific. So I can appreciate that a little more. But different breathing patterns can give you different results. So like certain things I work on with my clients is breathing to de-stress or breathing to rest.
I follow a lot of guys that do breathing exercises, and it's not that easy. Like it's like this whole science. Like you have to really kind of concentrate, like really unplug and start.
There's I think
You're talking about meditating with breathing?
Yeah, no, just breathing exercise. Just sitting down and taking whatever 10, 15, 20 minutes and just doing your breathing
I wouldn't
exercises.
even go there. Like what I do with my clients, even in between rounds,
During
is
your
just
reps.
be mindful of your breath. And the de-stress thing that I do with the clients, take 3 minutes in your day if you're feeling stressed, and just do block breathing. So like,
What's block breathing?
so you count your inhales, count your break, and you count your exhale.
Okay.
So let's say if you want to de-stress, I would do like four inhale, 4 hold.
Okay. So wait, I totally read it wrong. You meant breathing as a separate exercise, not breathing as you're doing weights, like the inhale and the exhale.
No, that's another thing.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
whole
what I'm
different
talking
thing.
about. I'm
Okay,
talking
okay,
about breathing
got it.
exercises.
But like
Yeah.
breathing as a nervous system regulation management.
God.
That's the,
Okay, that's meditation though. Well,
Well,
a form.
It's
You're
form.
also teaching like your diaphragm and stuff to
Yeah.
stretch.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
then the
and, like, your
vacuums
torso
It
opens
ends up becoming meditative, even if it's not like a guided
Got it.
meditation.
Okay.
So 4 intake.
So that's just an example. There's depending on what you want, but for stress reductions, basically you want to increase the exhale. So as long as you can, you prolong your exhale.
Right.
So let's say 4 in, hold for 4, and then exhale for 6, 7. So it's like you reduce the air coming out, and then it makes it longer, and do that for 2-3 minutes, and your nervous system is much calmer.
That's how
than it
people
is
deal with
before.
panic attacks.
Yeah.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
But that's a very powerful tool, and that's in your pocket. Like that's, you don't need anything.
Yeah.
Is
external
this a
to
daily
help you.
thing?
Yeah,
Morning,
100%.
morning, night?
Daily thing. Whenever you're feeling in the morning, it's too restful. Like for
Yeah.
me personally, but for people with anxiety, it's very helpful. And also, when you're training, and your heart rate is through the roof,
Yeah, you have to manage your heart.
you gotta
rate.
bring it down. Like, so this is something we work on a lot in boxing,
Tell-
because it's
tell me
like
if I'm
3
wrong.
minutes on, 1 minute off. But in that 1 minute, you gotta bring your heart rate back.
I was found as I increased, it was important to decrease my breathing, slow it down, so I could control my heart rate.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Okay. That's what I always felt that was the right thing to do, and I would just do it.
No,
like that,
it
and
is.
It works for me.
Because there's a point when you reach your max that you feel like it's a
Yeah,
little
yeah.
unnerving. And
Yeah.
if you're not used to being in that state, it's important to control how to bring it
But
back.
don't slow down your feet. Speed up your feet, and control your breathing.
Yeah,
Slow down
if
your
you
breathing.
can.
Slow down
If
your
you
breathing and increase your speed. That's what I found works
Yeah.
for me.
If you that too, it takes practice. To,
Yeah, you have to.
He
be
mentioned boxing. You want to do like you versus us three, like in the living room.
There. Hold on. He did mixed
I
martial
did
arts.
Muay Thai. I did.
He
Yeah.
fought people. So unless we each have a weapon,
I didn't say we're gonna win.
No.
I just said it's gonna
Dude,
be fun.
unless we're each holding a weapon, I'm not doing this.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but listen, I just
Yeah, but
had a
how many
baby and I have a
baseball
bad
bats do
back,
you
so
have?
it's
All right, no
Zero.
problem.
How many baseball bats do you have? Otherwise, I'm not getting involved.
it's a fair fight.
I'll use the microphone stand. It's pretty heavy.
All right, man. Let's wrap it up. Vaggelis, thank you so much for coming,
Guys, thanks for having me,
inspiring
honestly.
us, and sharing all that that knowledge that you have. Again, we're gonna put all the details in wherever it is on YouTube or Facebook, so you can go follow Vaggelis. You can follow the studio. You can follow whatever information that that we're gonna give. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube, all the audio platforms as well. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, thanks Vaggelis for coming. We do appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome, man.